Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India is committed to strengthening its relations with Australia, which is not only important for the two nations but also for the Indo-Pacific region and the whole world. Says this is a perfect time and opportunity to strengthen India-Australia relations. Holds first ever virtual bilateral summit with Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. 9 agreements signed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says long-pending agrarian reforms approved by the Union Cabinet will have a very positive impact on rural India, especially industrious farmers, and long-pending agrarian reforms will enable the transformation of the agriculture sector. Says amendment to the Essential Commodities Act will ensure better income for farmers and would mean lesser regulatory influence. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar says central government has taken a very serious note of the killing of an elephant in Mallapuram in Kerala. Says the government will not leave any stone unturned to investigate and nab the culprits. Says this is not an Indian culture to feed firecrackers and kill. Cyclonic storm Nishan weakens after hitting south of Alibag in Raigad district of Maharashtra. Mumbai spared major damage from the cyclone except reports of uprooting of trees and waterlogging from some areas. 16 districts of Madhya Pradesh on alert for heavy rains. Number of cured and discharged COVID-19 patients in India stands at 1,04,106, while total active cases stand at 1,06,737. Recovery rate improves further. Global COVID-19 cases continue to spiral up with over 64 lakh people infected and over 3,85,000 deaths reported. Hello, you're watching DD News and I'm Preeti presenting Midday News this afternoon. Our top story first. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held the first ever virtual bilateral summit with Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison today. He said that India is committed to strengthen its relations with Australia, which is not only important for the two nations but also for the Indo-Pacific region and the whole world. He added that role of comprehensive strategic partnership will be even more important during this time of the pandemic. Prime Minister also said that the government has changed the crisis into an opportunity to bring border reforms at ground level.
मुझे बहुत प्रसन्नता है कि आज हम अपने द्विपक्षीय संबंधों को कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप के रूप में अपग्रेड कर रहे हैं। वैश्विक महामारी के इस काल में हमारी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप की भूमिका और महत्वपूर्ण रहेगी। विश्व को इस महामारी के आर्थिक और सामाजिक दुष्प्रभावों से जल्दी निकालने के लिए एक कोऑर्डिनेटेड और कोलैबोरेटिव अप्रोच की आवश्यकता है। हमारी सरकार ने इस क्राइसिस को एक अपॉर्चुनिटी की तरह देखने का निर्णय लिया है। भारत में लगभग सभी क्षेत्रों में व्यापक रिफॉर्म्स की प्रक्रिया शुरू की जा चुकी है। बहुत जल्द ही ग्राउंड लेवल पर इसके परिणाम देखने को मिलेंगे।
Prime Minister also said that it is perfect time to further strengthen the relationship between India and Australia. He added that there are endless opportunities to strengthen our friendship. It also brings with it the challenges to turn this political aspiration into reality, how our relation becomes a factor of stability for the region.
डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज को शेयर करने के नाते हम दोनों देशों का कर्तव्य है कि इन अपेक्षाओं पर हम खरे उतरे और इसलिए वैश्विक कल्याण के मूल्य जैसे लोकतंत्र, रूल ऑफ लॉ, फ्रीडम, म्यूचुअल रिस्पेक्ट, इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस का सम्मान और पारदर्शिता आदि को अपहोल्ड करना और प्रोटेक्ट करना हमारी सैक्रेड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। यह एक प्रकार से भविष्य के लिए हमारी धरोहर है। आज जब अलग अलग प्रकार से इन वैल्यूज को चैलेंज किया जा रहा है, तो हम आपसी संबंधों को मजबूत करके इन्हें सशक्त कर सकते हैं। एक्सेलेंसी, भारत ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ अपने संबंधों को व्यापक तौर पर और तेज गति से बढ़ाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध है। यह न सिर्फ हमारे दोनों देशों के लिए महत्वपूर्ण है, बल्कि इंडो पैसिफिक क्षेत्र और विश्व के लिए भी आवश्यक है।
And underscoring the shared democratic values of India and Australia, Prime Minister said that it is the responsibility of both the nations to fulfill the aspirations of the people. He said that upholding the values of global welfare like democracy, rule of law, freedom and respecting international institutions is the sacred responsibility of India and Australia. Also, let us get you an update on the agreements which were signed. Or before that, let's hear what the Prime Minister had to say.
We know they don't come to anything if we don't put in the practical building blocks and agreements that sit under the relationship that actually contribute to the prosperity and the progress of the relationship between our two countries. So today is a very good opportunity to extend that. It will be extended also in the agreement that we have to commit to Foreign and Defence Ministers meeting in a regular 2+2 format. I think that's a great step forward.
India and Australia had signed the agreements today, and they signed 9 agreements in various sectors to further boost relationship between the two nations. The list of documents announced and signed during India-Australia Virtual Summit are: Joint Statement on a Comprehensive Strategic Partnership between Republic of India and Australia. This was announced. And Joint Declaration on a Shared Vision for Maritime Cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region was also announced. Framework Arrangement on Cyber and Cyber-Enabled Critical Technology Cooperation. This agreement was signed. MOU on cooperation in the field of mining and processing of critical and strategic minerals was also signed. Added to this, arrangement concerning mutual logistics support, that is MLSA, was also signed between the two countries. Implementing arrangement concerning cooperation in defence science and technology to the MOU on defence cooperation was also signed. MOU on cooperation in the field of public administration and governance reforms was signed, and also MOU on cooperation in vocational education and training was also signed. Added to this, a memorandum of understanding was also signed on water resources management. And also, Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison emphasised on the importance of regular 2+2 dialogues between the two countries and focused on strengthening bilateral and multilateral ties.
They don't come to anything if we don't put in the practical building blocks and agreements that sit under the relationship that actually contribute to the prosperity and the progress of the relationship between our two countries. So today is a very good opportunity to extend that. It will be extended also in the agreement that we have to commit to Foreign and Defence Ministers meeting in a regular 2+2 format. I think that's a great step forward. The relationship also we have with partners in the region, particularly Japan, Indonesia, Vietnam, the United States, others, is very important. And we are both enthusiastically pursuing those bilateral relationships, but increasingly in multilateral fora, both informally and formally. That is providing, I think, a basis of stability in our region, which we can all share in and we can drive the prosperity from.
The Australian Prime Minister said that he is eager to visit India to receive the famous Modi hug.
I look forward to this first Australia-India Leaders Virtual Summit today. I wish I could be there for what has become the famous Modi hug, and while not and be able to share my samosas, which I thank you for. We had a bit of fun with that on the weekend. So next time it'll have to be the Gujarati Kishti which I know is a keen favourite of yours and you've mentioned to me before. So I'll try that out in the kitchen before next time we meet in person.
Two interministerial central teams are visiting West Bengal and Odisha for the assessment of the aftermath of Super Cyclone Amphan. A seven-member team headed by Joint Secretary, Minister of Home Affairs Anuj Sharma will reach Kolkata this evening. The team will travel to affected areas for ascertaining the quantum of loss and destruction caused by Cyclone Amphan. The team is expected to visit the cyclone-affected South and North 24 Parganas, Howrah, East and West Midnapore and Hooghly during this visit. The team will also hold meeting with State Chief Secretary and other government officials before leaving for New Delhi. Another interministerial central team is visiting Odisha for on-the-spot assessment. Both the central teams have officials from Jal Shakti Ministry, Power Ministry, Road and Highways and of Fisheries Department. Soon after the cyclone, Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited both the affected states and had announced an advance aid relief of Rs 1,000 crore and Rs 500 crore to West Bengal and Odisha respectively. He also assured full support from the centre in restoring normalcy in the two states. HRD Ministry, Urban Affairs Ministry today launched Engineering Internship Program for students in New Delhi. Union HRD Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank and MOS Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Singh Puri were present at the launching ceremony of TULIP. The Urban Internship Program, that is TULIP, aims to provide experiential learning opportunities to engineering graduates. Added to this, the program will be supported under Smart City initiative of the Government of India. Speaking about the program, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri emphasized on the importance of education of the youth and their role in urbanization.
मैं समझता हूँ इस अर्बन रिजुविनेशन में ये इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम जिसमें दुर्गा शंकर जी कह रहे हैं उन्हें विश्वास है कि पहले वर्ष में ही 25,000 फ्रेश ग्रेजुएट इंजीनियर्स को ये हम इंटर्नशिप दे पाएंगे। मैं समझता हूँ इस अर्बनाइजेशन में एक बहुत ये महत्वपूर्ण और बहुत लाभदायक कदम होगा। I just want youth, educated engineering graduates and getting them to dedicate to the work of our urban local bodies and our overall process of urbanization.
Union Minister for Education Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank said that collaboration of the ministry with Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry is the need of the hour, which would benefit young graduates of the country in learning. He also added that India has become a destination for students to come and study.
दुनिया की बड़ी सी बड़ी कंपनियों में यदि सीईओ है, कार्यकारी निदेशक उसका है, तो हिंदुस्तान से पढ़ने वाला छात्र है। ये इसका प्रमाण है। एक ने मैं सख्त प्रमाण दे सकता हूं पूरी दुनिया में। अमेरिका से जितने भी विकासशील देश हैं उनमें बहुत बड़ी उपस्थिति में शीर्ष पदों पर बैठे रहने वाले मेरी आईआईटी से, मेरी इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज से, मेरी इन विश्वविद्यालयों से निकलने वाला छात्र है। इसका मतलब यह है कि आज जरूरत है इस समन्वय की।
And the central government has taken a very serious note of the killing of an elephant in Mallapuram in Kerala. Union Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar has termed the killing of an elephant in Kerala as cruel and assured that the culprits will be nabbed and brought to justice. The Union Minister has also sought complete report on the incident. The elephant died in Mallapuram district on 27th of May and it was severely injured when the fruit it ate exploded in the mouth.
Killing of an elephant in Kerala is shocking. If somebody gives firecrackers in pineapple and they get burst in the mouth, and therefore if elephant dies, this is very cruel and this is not Indian culture. Therefore, we have taken this killing in Kerala very seriously. For solving the animal human conflict situation, we have already taken up fodder and water augmentation in forest areas. But this kind of killing is absolutely unacceptable, and we have already deputed our senior officers there, and we will nab the culprits and punish them.
After hitting Maharashtra's coastal area, Raigad and Alibag with wind speed of up to 120 kilometers on Wednesday afternoon, Cyclone Nishan weakened into a cyclonic storm in the evening. Now, as per the IMD, cyclone weakened into a deep depression, and further, the deep depression over interior Maharashtra moved northeastwards and lay centered about 70 kilometers east of Nashik, Maharashtra. It is likely to weaken into a depression during the next few hours. As soon as cyclone weakened, the NDRF team started relief and rehabilitation work. Overall, the worst has passed and the cyclone situation was well negotiated because of timely preparations and coordination between centre and the state. Heavy rain occurred at isolated places in Maharashtra. Fishermen were advised not to venture into East Central and Northeast Arabian Sea. Mumbai was spared major damage from the cyclone except reports of uprooting of trees and waterlogging from some areas. In Madhya Pradesh, 16 districts are on alert for heavy rains. The IMD has put an orange-yellow alert in the state. The districts which are likely to witness rains include Indore, Bhopal, Ujjain, Hoshangabad, Jabalpur and Sagar division. Up next, we'll take a look at the latest update on COVID-19 situation from across the country. A total of 1,04,106 patients have been cured of COVID-19 so far, which means the recovery rate has improved. Presently, there are 1,06,737 active cases and all are under active medical supervision. The testing capacity has increased in the country through 480 government and 208 private labs, and there are in total 688 laboratories. To facilitate migrant workers stranded at different places by special trains, Indian Railways operationalized 4,197 Shramik special trains across the country till 3rd of June. More than 58 lakh migrant workers have been transported through Shramik special trains since 1st of May. Over 50 lakh passengers were transported in May alone. Now, these trains were originated from various stations and states. Maximum number of trains have originated from Gujarat, followed by Maharashtra, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The states where maximum Shramik special trains terminated are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha and West Bengal. In addition to the Shramik specials, Railways are also running 15 pairs of special Rajdhani trains from 12th of May and 100 pairs of special mail or express from 1st of June 2020 for pilgrims, tourists, students and other stranded people. Railways recently deployed the first set of isolation coaches in Delhi for treating those with COVID-19 infection. The rate with 10 disinfected coaches has 160 beds and is equipped with medical facilities to comfortably quarantine the patients. Each cabin of the coach has been converted into an independent isolation ward which shall accommodate one patient. There will be plastic curtain for each cabin as a measure of isolation. The side berth and panel walls of the coach near the entry-exit doors have been removed for easy access of the stretcher. Extra bottle holders and electric points are provided for medicines, IV fluids and medical equipment are also provided. One of the 4 toilets of the coach have been converted into a bathroom with a facility for shower, bucket and a mug. Also, insulated bamboo sheets have been put up on the roof and the side walls of the coach for reducing the heat transfer and temperature inside the isolation ward. In addition to this, the 10 non-AC coaches with 160 beds, the COVID-19 care center will have 3 AC coaches for healthcare staffers, including doctors. Under the Vande Bharat mission, more than 2,450 distressed Indians, including infants, were repatriated on special flights from the Gulf yesterday. 15 flights will be operated from the Gulf today. More than 2,400 Indians are likely to board these special flights. There are 6 flights from the UAE. 5 flights are being operated from Dubai to Jaipur, Hyderabad, Madurai, Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram. From Abu Dhabi, there is 1 flight to Kozhikode. From Saudi Arabia, 3 flights are being operated. Kuwait has 2 flights to Delhi and Kozhikode. Qatar has 2 flights to Lucknow and Kannur. Oman has 2 flights to Kochi and Thiruvananthapuram. Priority is being given to distressed workers, stranded tourists, pregnant women, medical emergency cases and senior citizens. Under government's effort to bring back the stranded Indians from abroad, the third repatriation flight carrying 69 nationals has reached Lokpriya Gopinath Bordoloi International Airport in Guwahati. Now, according to the Ministry of Civil Aviation, its data, 314 flights of Air India have brought back 13,717 nationals from abroad till June 2nd under the Vande Bharat mission. And after completing disembarkation of Indian citizens evacuated from Sri Lanka in Tuticorin, INS Jalashwa is now back in Malé. The ship arrived in Malé today morning to continue with the mission of bringing back Indian citizens stranded overseas. The ship will embark nearly 700 citizens tomorrow and will bring them back to Tuticorin. Let's get you an update on the global COVID-19 situation. Global COVID-19 numbers continue to rise as more than 64.29 lakh people have been infected globally. Deaths surpass 3.85 lakh. Meanwhile, Brazil has reported over 5.5 lakh confirmed cases of COVID-19. The United States has the highest number of cases worldwide with more than 18.5 lakh people infected, followed by Brazil. And Brazil registered record number of novel coronavirus deaths over the last 24 hours, according to the country's health ministry. The pandemic in Latin America's largest country shows no signs of slowing down. The fresh record comes as some Brazilian leaders, including right-wing President Jair Bolsonaro, continue to belittle the virus, warning that the economic fallout from quarantine measures will be worse than the virus itself. Currently, Brazil has more than 5,55,000 total confirmed cases of COVID-19 and more than 31,000 deaths. Meanwhile, in Italy, people have been allowed to move freely within the country as COVID-19 pandemic has eased there. Passengers don't have to provide the self-declaration form anymore, in which they are required to explain their trans-regional travel purposes in the country. The travel restrictions are also eased for travellers from other European Union countries and Britain to enter the country without the 14-day quarantine. In order to cope with the increase of passenger flows, the Italian State Railways has launched 80 long-distance high-speed trains and 38 intercity regular trains nationwide and requires travellers to take temperature tests before boarding. And gyms, swimming pools and fitness parks have reopened in France after 2-month-long COVID-19 lockdown, due to which indoor sporting activities were banned in gyms and sporting halls. The death tally from COVID-19 in France is more than 29,000, while the number of cases are 1,14,400. A day after registering the biggest single-day spike in death toll from COVID-19, Chile has recorded more than 1,270 deaths from the virus, with the number of cases exceeding 1,13,620. The avalanche of COVID-19 cases in Chile has led to the collapse of hospitals. Emergency and intensive care services of public hospitals are working at full capacity due to the high number of patients they receive day and night. And Sureen Makradi, a septuagenarian in Central Thailand, has set an example that age cannot be a hurdle if one decides to provide selfless service to the society. Now, this granny goes door to door in her village and measures people's temperature amid the coronavirus outbreak. Basu Chatterjee, the director behind cult films like Rajnigandha and Chit Chor, passed away today due to age-related ailments. He was 93 years of age. The veteran filmmaker and screenwriter's last rites will be performed later this afternoon in Mumbai. That's it in this edition of Midday News this hour. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.